What is up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a breaking Liverpool transfer news video, and this is absolutely gigantic news. Virgil van Dijk decided to hand in an official transfer request to Southampton. So in this video you will find out all the details. Do you think that he will end up at Liverpool? I'm dreading if he signs for a rival club like Chelsea or Manchester City. I will be gutted, but all the big clubs have as many centre-backs as they need. On the other hand, Liverpool still need one more big centre-back signing, and I think especially after Jurgen Klopp's comments yesterday, which was I think mind games more than anything, it looks like that Liverpool are still Van Dijk's preferred destination. So Ben Smith of the BBC reports that Van Dijk said he has no option but to hand in a formal transfer request at Southampton. Impossible to see Van Dijk playing for Southampton again, which is huge. So he will definitely leave Southampton in the summer, almost 100%. The big question is, can Liverpool get him? Ben Smith is reporting that Anfield is still where he wants to play, but this transfer is far from straightforward. So first of all, let's read the transfer request of Van Dijk, because it makes for a very interesting reading, and then I will give my thoughts on the transfer and all the latest news outlets and reports from various journalists will also feature in this video. So if you enjoy these transfer update videos, make sure to smash the like button and let me know in the comments below, do you think Van Dijk will end up at Liverpool? What do you make of this news? So Van Dijk's statement said, "It is with regret that I can confirm that I have today handed in a transfer request to leave Southampton Football Club. Unfortunately, I feel I have no alternative after I was given notice of the club's intention to impose a disciplinary action against me of a fine equivalent to 2 weeks' wages. I will be appealing what I feel to be an unjustified sanction and their inability to follow the correct disciplinary protocol in due course." Van Dijk also said in his statement, "Over the past 6 months I've had numerous discussions with the representatives of the board, the former manager Claude Puel, as well as the new manager Mauricio Pellegrino, to inform them all of my desire to leave the club in search of a new challenge." And this is my favorite part of the Van Dijk statement. He says this, and I quote, "I am incredibly ambitious and I want to achieve as much as I possibly can to fulfill my potential in what is a very short career as a professional footballer. I want to play European football again and challenge for major honors, and as such I would like Southampton to consider the interest in me from top clubs should it still exist." Oh boy, you can bet it exists. All the big clubs now in England will be all over this, in my opinion. He also said, I've been left frustrated by the club's position that I am not for sale, and I'm disappointed that inquiries from multiple top clubs have been consistently rebuffed. The period of time that I've just spent injured and unable to play has put a number of things into perspective and made me realize just how important it is to take major opportunities should they arise. So he feels, and these are just my own feelings, own thoughts, he feels that, you know, a professional footballer career is only what, 10, maybe 15 years, maximum 20 years if you are very lucky, but that's very rare. And if you want to make the most of your professional professional career, you have to jump at the opportunity when a really top club like Liverpool wants to sign you, and you can play Champions League football, you can challenge for trophies and titles. You should grab that opportunity with both hands, because if Van Dijk maybe lays low and stays at Southampton for one more year, who knows, next season he might have had a mediocre season, and then not many big clubs would be maybe in for him. So that could also happen, or you could suffer another major injury which could end your career. So I can understand where he's coming from 100%, and I would do the same if I was him. If Liverpool came in for me and I was playing for Southampton, I would try everything in my powers to, of course, try to move on to a bigger club than Southampton, because at Southampton you won't be able to play even in the Europa League. You won't be even able to challenge for trophies and titles. Yes, they played in the League Cup final, and they almost won it against Man United. But how often does Southampton play in a cup final? Very, very rarely. He also said this, and I quote, "I have consistently relayed my feelings to senior management at Southampton in what I believed to be private and personal conversations. Disappointingly, these conversations have regularly found their way into the media." So Van Dijk has a point here that that's not a very pleasant thing from Southampton, that he turns basically the fans against Van Dijk with leaking stuff that they have been discussing in private to the media, to the public eye, and that's not really nice. So I can perfectly see why Van Dijk would be frustrated with this. He also said this, and I quote, "I would also like to make clear that I have never once refused to train. I can confirm that I was asked about my frame of mind, and for all of the reasons mentioned above, I was open and honest in saying that I did not feel I was in a settled mindset given the circumstances." And that's also perfectly understandable in my opinion. He also said this: "Following this conversation, the manager explained that he only wanted players who felt 100% committed to Southampton, and told me I would therefore have to train away from the first team." And he also said this: "As a proud professional, I am insulted by the suggestion that it was me who refused to train, and so I feel it is important to point out the true version of events. I had very much hoped to retain the good relationship I've always enjoyed with everyone at the club, especially the fans, but unfortunately, in light of everything that's happened, this has now been seriously affected. I would like to make clear that I have nothing but gratitude to everyone at Southampton for giving me the opportunity to play in the Premier League. However, the time for me to move on is now, and I hope to be able to work with the club to find the best resolution to suit all parties." And that's the end of Van Dijk's statement. My biggest worry is that Southampton would rather sell to anybody else than Liverpool for even 10 or 15 or even 20 million pounds less than what Liverpool are willing to pay for Van Dijk, if it means that Van Dijk doesn't end up at Liverpool. That's how badly the relationship has been going, or has been affected between Southampton and Liverpool. And that's my only big worry, because Van Dijk is definitely wanting to play for Liverpool. He definitely wants to play for Jurgen Klopp. He definitely wants to, you know, listen to the "You Will Never Walk Alone" song at Anfield multiple times before games. I think he's sold on the whole Liverpool project, and he definitely knows that Jurgen Klopp really wants him. The big problem is, will Southampton sell? Because remember that many players handed in transfer requests before, and not always did the club sell them in that transfer window. If I remember correctly, Suarez also handed in a transfer request, and he wanted to move to Arsenal, but Liverpool didn't sell him. But they promised him to be sold to a club abroad next summer, and then he went to Barcelona for 75 million pounds, which looks like an absolute bargain now when Neymar went to 200 million pounds to Van Dijk. So what do you make of that statement? It's a very interesting statement in my opinion, and Van Dijk basically feels that he was backed into the corner, because even though he was you know, on a strike, basically saying that he kept telling Southampton even during the season that he wants to leave, but Southampton has been very, you know, stubborn in that they always said in the media, and the manager also said in its press conferences, that Van Dijk is not for sale. We won't sell Van Dijk even if he doesn't want to play for Southampton anymore. And Van Dijk felt that he basically has no other solution, no other option but to hand in a transfer request. And while I was covering this whole transfer saga, I can completely understand where he's coming from. He's I think 26 years old, yeah, and he maybe has another like 8 to 10 years at the top level, and he just wants to spend as many seasons at the top club as possible to give him as good a chance of not just playing for a title challenger team in the Premier League, but playing for in the Champions League, and also to get into the World Cup squad of Netherlands, except Netherlands didn't qualify for the World Cup, I just realized. But anyway, he wants to get back into the Netherlands side, I'm sure. So what now for Liverpool? That's the big question. In my opinion, Liverpool should go in and bid for Van Dijk, and let's bid 60 million pounds at least. I want Liverpool to try everything in our powers to get Van Dijk. Even though Liverpool put out a statement apologizing to Southampton like a month ago, and we said that we officially ended the interest in the player, this changes everything. In my opinion, an official transfer request, you don't see that very often from top players, and Van Dijk, make no mistake, is a top player in the Premier League, one of the top 5 defenders in the Premier League, in my opinion. So I just checked the exact dates, and actually Liverpool's official apology about the Van Dijk transfer was on June the 7th, and this is today, August the 7th, so it was exactly 2 months ago. I think that's enough time for the dust to settle, and the only way that we can convince Southampton to sell to Liverpool is to offer crazy money for Van Dijk. And I honestly think even paying 70 million pounds for Van Dijk would be worth it, because Van Dijk could be the difference for Liverpool between struggling to finish in the top 4 and challenging for the title, and also Liverpool struggling to get out of the Champions League group stage, and also for Liverpool to maybe get to the quarterfinals or the semi-finals of the Champions League. In my opinion, Liverpool's biggest weakness is the defense, and apart from Andrew Robertson, we didn't sign anybody who improves the defense. And Andrew Robertson is a good player, but he's not a centre-back. He doesn't improve the centre-backs at Liverpool, and I think to bring in Van Dijk and get a Matip-Van Dijk partnership is a good enough partnership to challenge for the Premier League title, in my opinion. But these videos are always a discussion, guys, not just you know, my opinion. I want to hear yours, so let's get debating in the comments below, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.